Right, well, we're here for a lovely lunch with Frank Warren in London. Frank, how are we today?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Much better, thank you.
Thanks for having us. You've been away a little while. Looks like you've brought back some lovely weather with you.
That's it. The sun always shines down on the righteous.
Yes, it does. Look, we've really got to start with Ladumo Lamati. Fans are kind of waiting an update on the status of him after the fight with Nick Ball in Belfast. What can you tell us?
Yeah, apparently he's conscious now. They've taken him out of the drug-induced coma. So hopefully he's on the road to recovery. And we hope that he'll be quite soon be able to travel and be able to get home to be with his family.
And some family have come over as well, is that the case?
Yeah, we brought his family over. His team went back of their own volition immediately after the fight, but we brought in his family or members of his family or friends, and they're staying with him, and obviously at his bedside. And we got people on the ground out in Belfast who are regularly giving us the updates. And the Boxing Board of Control are doing the same thing with their local area doctor in Northern Ireland.
Well, we all wish him the best and speedy recovery.
Do. You know, he put a magnificent performance in. It was a tragic ending, and he did put a magnificent performance in, and he's just shown again what fighting spirit he's got by hopefully coming through this.
100%. Well, let's talk about the latest news. So let's timestamp this to where we are today. It's Wednesday, the 7th of June. As of last night, Alex Krasik did an interview with IFL TV, seconds out as well, and he said that you can be expecting an offer soon for Usyk versus Fury, Fury versus Usyk in Saudi Arabia at the end of the year. Have you had your offer yet?
No, I mean, I don't know if he's speaking on behalf of the promoters or he's promoting it, but we've had nothing. We've been expecting an offer since early January, and it hasn't come through yet. And it hasn't come through because they tell us that they're still, first of all, that the stadium won't be ready till December. That's why they postponed the fight from February to the April the 29th and now to December. And obviously they've got to get clearance from the funding from the government department that deals with it.
So are you expecting an offer to come through soon? Because I'm hearing the same thing from Eddie as well. You know, the offer hasn't come through yet for the Wilder fight. When do you think this will happen?
I don't know. I mean, look, I don't even talk about it with Tyson because it's pointless. You know, until it comes, it comes. If it comes in, then we look at it and consider it. From what I understand, I don't know if Usyk's got an offer. I know he had an offer last year that expired in February, and I don't know if they've. I don't know the deal that they've announced that he's signed with them. I don't know if he's got a guarantee or not. That's his business. And as you say, Eddie Hearn said that he hasn't received anything yet, but they are saying that they're fighting against Deontay Wilder in December. And I understand Deontay Wilder is really up for doing all that, but he's not had his offer yet. I'm not saying it won't be and it won't come in, but let's keep talking about it like we're ducking it, whatever, when we have no offer. There is zero offer in writing being made.
Has there ever been an offer that Tyson Fury has had from the Saudis to fight Usyk?
Yes, back in last January, they wanted to pull out the fight against Chisora, and he was offered a substantial amount of money. And they said if we go ahead with the fight, then they reduced it by 20%, and they would do the fight in February or April. But as I just said, they didn't happen, so it didn't happen.
So one of the things out there is people are saying Tyson Fury priced himself out of the Usyk fight. That's why it happened at Wembley. But that's not the case, is it?
Well, how can you price out something out when you've not got an offer? There's no offer. Mm-hmm. Derek Chisora, who's the representative, said about 3 or 4 weeks ago that the boxers, Tyson included, will be earning around 100 to 150 million pounds. So you know what? I'll cut through all of it. We'll take that. Done. It's a done deal. Send us the contract.
Well, let's wait for that phone to ring. I'm having a look at it now as well. I'm sure it. Look, if you're saying
I'm just saying, if that's what it is, if Derek Chisora is the person who can make that offer, it's done. We agree. I'm not even going to talk to Tyson about it. It's done. We agree it. It's done.
What did you make of Usyk signing with Skill Challenge Promotions?
Well, look, at the end of the day, he's got 3 belts. Well, how old is he now? 38. 36, sorry, my apologies. So he's 36. He has talked continually about, if there was no Saudi, then that fight with Tyson would have taken place by now. He would have taken his 30% of the money, which would have been a lot of money for him. But this whole thing with the Saudi money, like golf, like the football, like all the various things, has distorted the situation, and that's why it hasn't happened. And I get that. They're professional sportsmen, they want to get a lot of money. But stop blaming Tyson. He did a Oleksandr Usyk put this tweet out. I think you can see it. That's it. I'm going to read it because obviously it's going to drive you mad trying to focus on that. But I'm going to read it. So he said, Fury, you talk about greatness in boxing. At the same time you say, give me a lot of money. Greatness in boxing is not determined by money. Greatness comes from a victorious path. You say that I avoid you, although I never have. And in fact, I've even come to you. I'm ready to box with you, even without any prize money. As he sat in Saudi for the money. And I get that, but stop with his bullshit already. It's not about money, they're professional boxers. Him, both of them, the two fighters that have not boxing Tyson, it's not about money, because it's certainly it is about money. It's certainly as far as AJ's concerned, he was offered 40%. If he becomes the mandatory, which he could do, he gets 20%. So we've been offered 40%. So why didn't you fight for it? What are you going to do? You can fight in August against Joe Blow from Alamo, whoever he's going to be, whoever they're going to wheel him out, to keep him alive for the fight against Deontay over there. But it's about the money. Get it, understand that. And it's the same with Usyk. You can say all you want to say, but at the end of the day, you're there in Saudi talking about money. You said, Alex, your promoter said, yes, we're going to get an offer, which we... whether we do or we don't, we're to consider. And let me tell you, it's the right offer. We're going to be there in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat, we'll be there. But we ain't had it. And the facts of the matter is, it's about money. It's not about pride. It's not about the right thing. Because if it was about the right thing, you'd be fighting for the title, AJ. And if it was about the right thing, Usyk, you'd be fighting for the 4 belts. That's the facts of the match. That's the truth. All the rest that you've been coming out with is bullshit and lies. And you haters out there can say and think what you like. But I've said from how many interviews now, going back a long, long time, it's about Saudi and about them getting the money from Saudi. It's like the golf and all the sports that I've just mentioned. That's what it's about. And I get it, I understand it. But stop fanning and putting the smoke screen up. That's what it's about. Tyson Fury will fight either of you wherever you like for the money, because he's no different than you. But he brings more to the party than all of you. 160,000 tickets in 2 fights last year. When you look at the purse bid for Daniel Dubois and Usyk, Usyk's end of that, if they're paying him what his end of it is $6 million. 3 belts. Dillian White last year, Tyson Fury, his end of it was $8 million. $8 million, $2 million more, and he don't hold any belts. So that's Tyson Fury's value.
Frank, why is there this perception out there that in these fights where Tyson Fury, I think, understandably, would start as a favourite. I think he'd start as a favourite against Usyk, against Joshua as well. But he is the one that's making it difficult to make these fights happen. Why is there this perception out there?
Because the haters want hearing that. Tyson at times may have been his own enemy by putting things out, saying you've got a deadline to do this. The reason that was going on is because I'm negotiating, or our team, George, me, we're negotiating with the other side. And we're saying, it's going to happen. They're going to get an offer. We're going to get an offer. And there was no offers coming. Nothing was happening. We're doing this. We're down the line. We're there. And, I'm only going to use Alex Kresik's interview last night on IFL. He said at the end of the day, we pulled out. That's not my words, they're his words. Because there were some small things. If there's small things, why'd you pull out? You don't pull out over small things, you pull out a big thing. Oh, we were fed up. What are you fed up about? This is a big payday. Take the Saudis out, it's his biggest payday. But the Saudi thing has distorted it, and that's why they are. And again, I get that, and I say, let's stop fanning people. That is what has happened, that's what it is. And they keep banging on, and they're talking about what they're going to do in December. But you know what? He ain't going to make December, because Daniel Dubois is going to knock him out.
You're backing Daniel August 26th?
Backed him from day one. He will knock him out.
What is it about Daniel that gives Usyk problems in that fight?
He's big, he's strong, he's got a good jab, he's young, and he's powerful. And I look at Usyk against AJ, who for me has been not been the force he was for quite a few fights now, certainly since Ruiz. And in those two fights against Usyk, first fight, I mean, he was just not in it at all. In the second fight, he was a bit better, gave him more of a thing, but he lost the fight. And, Usyk in the second fight didn't look brilliant to me. And I look at Usyk against Derek Chisora. And Derek Chisora never wanted to fight Daniel. We offered him big money to fight Daniel.
Just a couple more things to clear up. On the obviously there was an offer that went to Anthony Joshua, which he declined because he's got his own plan. Some fans were saying, why are you making offers to Anthony Joshua when you know that he's going to fight Dillian Whyte?
What plans he got? Who's he fighting?
Well, at the moment, there's nothing scheduled.
So there isn't any. There's a plan for him to fight in August against nobody at the moment, against a dead man, because that's where they're at, looking, up the old cemetery, looking for someone for him to fight to save so that they can get moving, or get to the situation in Saudi. There isn't anybody, so that's why we said, look, you know what, you're in Texas training. Let's make the fight. We go and fight someone in a 10-round fight that is meaningless. Even if you're fighting Dillian Whyte, which is, I get that, I understand that, but Dillian Whyte just got taken to school and slaughtered by Tyson last year. Why are you fighting the guy that Tyson done a job on? And see, never won a second of any round. Fight the champion for the WBC title, the world title, and you win that, and you go into the fight, and Tyson doesn't want to you go into that fight against Usyk for the 4 belts. What's that worth? You know what? You don't want it. You know why they don't? Because they don't fancy it. That's the truth of the matter. And so, please stop with the bullshit, all that narrative that we know they're doing fights. No, I don't know what they're doing, because who is he fighting? Is he fighting Hrgovic? Who they've got in their camp? Why don't they fight him in with Hrgovic? You know what? No chance. No chance. They're round there now looking for someone who's barely got a pulse.
Maurizio Sulaiman said that Tyson Fury is a victim in this scenario.
It's true. He is, but the narrative has been there because Tyson sometimes can be his own worst enemy. But I keep saying, you've got 48 hours and people get, and I want to do this, and I get that, and I do understand sometimes. But the fact of the matter is, that's frustration from him. If you're going to sign for me, sign for me. Here's the offer. What is there more to do with? We go back to the Joshua fight. We've agreed to. I'm giving you 40%, which they said, their own words, this was a good offer. Do you remember?
Yeah.
We can't argue about that. Here's a good offer. That's what Tyson give them. Then we pissed around. Then we find out after the event when it all collapsed. Then it's not going to happen because Frank Smith said he's not ready yet and he hasn't got a trainer. So fine, I understand that. Should have told us that in the meantime, but we agreed a contract more or less. There's a couple of silly little points to be sorted out, but they were negligible. But Tyson got frustrated and kept telling me all along, this is not going to happen.
How is Tyson at the moment, and when can we expect some news on his next steps?
You can expect news probably next week, and he's in Thailand at the moment, and he's good. I spoke to him before he left, and he was in good spirits. He's fit as anything. He's been training constantly. He's fitter. I think it was about 2 months ago. When he thought he was fighting in, I think it was April, May, and he sent me a thing saying, "I'm lighter now than when I fought last time." Sent me a picture of him standing on the scales. So he's training. So all this nonsense, all this dialogue that's going on, it's annoying. It's annoying. But the fact of the matter is, he'll fight anyone. Tyson's scared of fighting people. Come on, he's a road warrior. He's done what all, to be fair, Usyk also has been a road warrior. And I get that and I understand it. But he's been the guy who went to fight the hardest punching heavyweight in the last, 30, 40 years. 3 times in America. Before that, Klitschko in Germany, who was the best heavyweight of his generation. 18 months before he fought AJ. And done a job on him, took him to school.
Well, that is the Tyson Fury Usyk Joshua story. I'm hoping that phone rings soon and we get some offers, Frank.
Listen, reverse the charges. I'm here waiting for it. Reverse the charges, boys. We're ready to go.
Let's close off on another heavyweight in action on Friday night. Big D, David Adeleye, fight number 12 for him. he's got quite the momentum behind him at the moment. You must be excited about what the future holds.
I'm very excited, mate. He's a very exciting young heavyweight, and I'll tell you what, he's investing a lot in his own future at the moment. He's training in the States. He's investing a lot in it, and I believe, I really believe in him. I like him. I like what I see with him, and I think he's going to go places. No doubt about that. And I'm looking forward to Friday night. It's a good show, actually.
Very good show. Very good MC as well, I've heard.
Who's doing it?
Yeah, they've got someone in. Yeah.
I hope he's better than the last one.
Let's hope so, Frank. Finally, if he comes through on Friday night, he's fighting Emma Amatovic, which is no walkover. There's been a lot of talk about him being ordered to fight Fabio Wardley. Is that a fight is that a route that you want to go down? Is that a fight you'd entertain?
I haven't got a problem with that fight. Let's see what happens after the fight. Let's get Friday out of the way.
Any final message to the fans?
Yeah, please. You're the fans, and I know you got your sides and the people that you pick and so forth. But read between the lines, and between the lines, it's all about Saudi, all about them getting their big paydays in Saudi, and understand that, because I understand that. But stop falling for all the bullshit. It's not about pride. It's not about being the best. It's about the money.
Okay. Well, speaking of the money, presumably you're picking up the bill for lunch, Frank.
No, I left it with you, mate.
Let's hope not. Thank you very much, Frank Warren.
Lovely. Cheers.